Morning, FlatsClass fans. Captain CA here with FlatsClass YouTube, and today's lesson is all about how to fight tarpon. That is shallow tarpon that are on the flats, on the beaches, in the shallower passes. And I'm going to do it with the help of my friend Brad Stiglman. He's a longtime friend and client and great supporter of FlatsClass, and both Brad and I are going to take you on the water right now and get this lesson started. Then I'm going to bring you back here to the skiff, and we're going to talk about some of those techniques that we employed. So go enjoy the action, and we'll be right back.
This episode of FlatsClass YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring.
There's a couple good jumps too.
A good three or four.
It's always weird when you hook them off of like Egmont and they just stay with the pod.
Yeah.
And you can feel the other fish hitting the line. Is this the 40 or the 50?
It's the 40, sorry. I apologize. He is the type of fish that we can control on that. I mean, he got so high out of the water.
Yeah.
He's under 100 pounds.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, 60 to 100 is the right
My favorite.
kind. I'm gonna go 125, 150. It's kind of like doing it in a stingray sometimes.
Exactly. Woo! Yeah. You see how he laid out like that? He's an athlete.
Yeah.
He's an athlete. He's a young rooster.
I need that to be my alarm clock in the morning.
Exactly.
How do I set that as your ringtone?
Yeah. It'd get your attention every time, wouldn't it?
Man.
Couldn't wait to grab the phone. Trying to get out to the deeper water. Have you netted the drag down at all?
No.
You could probably go down a quarter turn now. I don't think there's a lot of fire.
It seems pretty tight.
A lot of risk. See the cork there, so he's just under. Here he comes for a breath. Usually they get that breath and they want to run.
Yeah.
He's pulling us around, but we got him close proximity already.
When he
I
sees-
know he's not ready though.
No.
He's not ready, not this close.
When he sees how ugly I am, he'll
Yeah.
take off. I'll let you have another breath.
He will jump when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Just gotta be ready for that bow. up like he was gonna jump there.
Yeah, I was getting ready for it, not trying to keep him down.
The end is near, I feel.
Yeah, he didn't get much out of that.
Yeah, he sure didn't.
Some exciting action, and we're not done yet. I promise you, after this, I'm going to bring you right back to it so you can see how it all turned out. All right, the rod we're using, 8-foot extra heavy action Terramar XX from Shimano. Reel we're using is the Saragossa 8000 with some 30-pound Power Pro Super Slick. And I've got a 40-50 pound leader. It depends on what setup I grab out of the boat. So in this particular example with Brad, we were using 40-pound fluorocarbon leader, about 5 feet of it, with a 6-aught Trocar hook, which is a super strong hook. Now, as you can see, you know, Brad's a fit dude, and when you're battling tarpon between that 80 and 120 pound class, it helps to be in better shape than me. But here's how you beat it if you are in shape like me. You got to work this part of the rod. You want to work that first half of the rod, because that's the half that's got all the strength, not the tip. The tip is basically for delivering a nice long cast, whether you're throwing artificial or a natural bait, and you got to be able to land it out there. You're going to need some setup like this one. Now, I can promise you right now, when I'm fighting a fish, I spend very little time with the rod up at 11 or better. I don't like being up like this. Being up like this doesn't do anything. All it does is put bruises right here, and you're not strong enough to pull on the fish. He hardly feels the pressure at all. To make him feel it, and you'll notice Brad was doing this a lot, you point more at the fish and you put a bend. Obviously, there's lots of side strain that goes into this, where you're pulling and you're trying to keep all that power right here in the lower half of the butt of the rod. That's what makes it work for you. If you do that, and then you also notice Brad was using lots of finger pressure with his fingers. You make small adjustments with this reel. Small adjustments during the fight after you know you have the fish under control. But to really dial it in, you can use some finger pressure on the spool with your fingers, and then when he takes off, take it off. And that way you can have a little finger pressure when you pull up, then reel down. That short pumping action, all the way up, then reel right to the water. All the way up, then reel right to the water. That seesaw action, that sawing action, is what breaks the spirit of those tarpon and ends the battle in short order. Because that's better for us, and it's a lot better for the tarpon, because we got to revive that tarpon. Once you start fighting tarpon an hour or longer, then it's not good for the tarpon. So use adequate gear and have the mentality that you want to win, and fight that fish with some determination, and you'll have a great trip. You'll have a trophy alongside the boat like this one.
That technique of the measured pressure and keeping the bend in the lower end of the rod, you know, not getting too high on them, short pumping them. That's really what beats these fish down. Go right to the water again, there you go. Just those little short pumps that get them.
Stingray now.
Yeah, sucking on the bottom.
Yeah.
I'd reel right down the water and try to pump them a few times, just to see if you can do anything with them. Force them up. There he comes. They don't like it.
If he just wanted to.
They don't like it.
Should have clicked the exercise timer on my watch.
You've probably been fighting this thing 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes maybe.
Not just so I get credit for the workout.
Oh, there you go. That's smart.
Call it high intensity interval training.
there you have it. Once you're at that point right there, that rod angle is the best.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try to get him away from their boat. Here he comes, jump, maybe. Boy, he came up tight, quick. He doesn't have big runs in him anymore.
I didn't think you had that left in it.
Yeah, you're winning. You're definitely winning with the short pump game. Definitely winning. We are making Brad work today. And he pays me to punish him like this. Sadist. You heard it. There you go. There you go. Flip him. Flip him. I'm ready to grab him as soon as you get him up here. Oh, he's about done now. You're pulling him around like you know him.
About 90, you think?
Yeah, he's gonna be like 80, 90 pounds. Over. That's a leader touch right there. You're all the way to the cork.
Yeah.
He's a caught fish. See if we can get a face grab now. Yeah, that's all that we lack right now. Let me get my gloves on. Brad got him to the boat. Probably close to 100 pounds. I'm glad we got it. Got it over with quick too, less than 30 minutes. All right, we're gonna revive them.
I'm bumping in gear.
Yep, bump it in gear. Warrior.
Man, battle.
Hey, warrior.
Fish fought hard too. He's about ready.
He'll be gone here in a minute.
Yeah, he's just about ready.
I love to see him swim away. Really love to see him swim away. Goes in the Davy Jones locker. Well done.
Let's do that like 3 or 4 more times.
Okay, let's
I'll
go.
have to go to the gym the rest of the week.
It was hot outside. I think the heat index today is like 110. So I decided to do the close here inside the studio where it's a lot cooler. All right. That battle, that piece of media that I just showed you with Brad is the perfect example of power, technique, and patience to make that happen. He literally beat that fish in about 30, 32 minutes, somewhere in that range, which is ideal. It's good for him, it's good for the fish, and makes you want to fight another one. You know, as you saw there, he wanted to fight another one. So those are the tricks of the trade that make fighting tarpon manageable. If you find yourself where you're held up here all the time and you're thinking you're resting, your biceps are all tight, your back's all tight, you can't do that. Being able to stand up for the majority of the fight, and we're fortunate because not always that can happen depending on sea conditions, where you can use your hips and your legs really helps a lot. You can put a lot of side strain and keep that bend in the lower part of the rod butt. That's where the power and the pull comes from, where you can back that fish up. The whole idea is to pull that fish, his head, through his tail and stall him where he can't go forward and he has to leap up to get a breath. If you keep pulling on him like that, reel down and pulling on him, that short pumping action, you end the fight quick. With even 100+ pound fish, you end the fight quick. And in the end, that's good for everybody. Like I always say, it's good for you and it's good for the fish. And that's what's important. If you like what you're learning here on FlatsClass YouTube, and you like some of the adventure stuff and the podcast stuff and TV episodes and all those things that we do here, hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up on these videos, because I want to bring you more of them, and I can't do that without you guys wanting to watch them. All right, I'm going to sit down here in the AC a little bit. Might even walk over to my rum cabinet, have a sip or two, and work on the next YouTube video for y'all.